Hello guys, welcome back to Ceefashion Academy. As you can see guys, this is the continuation of the topic we previously did. This is together 6 pieces blouse. That is 6 pieces blouse without a half length. So guys, make sure you watch this video to the end and make sure you click on that like button. Finally, don't forget to subscribe. Like I said, make sure you watch to the end.
Okay guys, as you can see, now I'll be showing us how to do the joining and every other stuff. So I will also be using this paper to do the illustration. So now look at it. This is the front part. Remember, we are going to be joining this way. Remember what I said, from the half length you join maybe downwards and also upwards. Do you understand? Okay, let me expand it. The same thing is also applicable at the back. Now look at the back. Are you saying it? You join like this. Always start from the down. Look at it for the back. Always start from the down, then to the upper part. Okay, so but let me start from the front part. Let me expand it for all of us to see it. Okay guys, now look at the front part. As you can see, look at what I said. I said you start from the underbust. Are you seeing it? From here you sew down to this very side. Are you seeing it? Please also make sure you do the same thing here. From the underbust you sew down to the top. Please sew carefully. You understand? So then when you are done, you still continue from the underbust then downwards. Are you seeing it on the plate? You still do the same thing here, and you sew with ½ inch. Please, I want you to know that. Okay, so next thing you are going to do before you sew, what you are going to be doing before you sew, remember you are going to be using hair stays at the back of your material just to improve the quality of the material and your work. You're going to use hair stays, or you're going to use different interfacing. Any interfacing that you feel that is okay for you to use on your dress, you are going to use it at the back. Then after, you are going to be padding. So let me teach us how to do the padding. It's very, very simple. Okay guys, now look at this very well. For you to pad, as you can see, we have our wording here with us. Okay, there are these two sets of wording you need to cut out. You need to know that. You need to cut out the one for the center front, and you need to cut out the one for the sides. Do you understand? For the center front and for the sides. Okay, then for the center front, all you have to do, as you can see the width of this particular side. What do we have here? What do we have? We have around 8. Okay, now there's something else I want to let you know. Now look at the width of this one. As you can see, it's more than 8. Do you understand? So the secret there is that you just make it to be SS. Do you understand? Yes, so that not when you start gumming it, you see that it has shortened one place. Then talking about the vertical measurement, from the normal bust size of 34 down to down to 40 inches or 38 inches, you can actually use 8 inches as a vertical measurement. Then from 40 above, you can use 9 to 10 depending on the person's bust. Do you understand? Okay, so that is it. So next thing we are going to be doing now is, look at, we start exactly from the under bust. It's very, very important. Now look at it. Place your wording like this. Let it start from the under bust, and make sure that the wording from here is also touching at here under bust. Then now when you are done, all you need to do is to use your pin and pin it. Please make sure you use your pin and pin it so that it will not shift. Pin it very, very well. Okay, and please, I want you to know that you don't just pin this wording. You pin from the gummy side. Are you seeing it? Make sure that it's the gummy side, so that when you iron it, it will gum on the material. Okay, look at it here, guys. Are you seeing it? I'm done pinning. Now next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to be opening the floor, the front part. Okay, when you open it out, then do this for me, please. When you open it out, use your scissors and then trim to the shape of the center front. It's very, very necessary you do that. Then after you are done, next thing you are going to be doing now is use your iron and the iron knitter so that this thing will come on the fabric. Do you understand? That is exactly how to get the center pattern. So you can see, if I open the back, look at the shape we have here. Are you seeing it? Okay, so this one, we are done with this one. So let's work on the sides. Now, for the side, guys, look at the pieces you are going to be using. Okay, this is the pieces you are going to be using. Now this piece, now the vertical is still that same 8 inches we used on the center front. Then here is 4. We use from 3.5 to 4 inches. This thing is actually dependent on how big the person's bust is, but the average you can actually use is what? 4 inches. Do you understand? Look at it. Average you can actually use almost for anybody. Okay, 4 inches. Now we are done. Please, I want you to note that I did it into two because we have the left and the right bustier side. Do you understand? Okay, so next thing you are going to be doing is separate both of them so that you have different. Okay, no, before you separate both of them, please make sure you still put both of them together. Okay, but there's something I really want us to shape now. Now look at it. Let's start from this side. See what I want you guys to do. This part is very important. Make sure you focus. Now, from the same underbust is very important. From the same underbust, make sure that this thing is touching at the underbust. And make sure that this one is touching at the tip of the bust. Are you seeing it? And make sure that this one is touching here. It's very important you guys note this. Look at it. Here, the underbust. Here, the end part of the tip of the bust. Then here, the tip of this thing should be touching here. Are you seeing it? It's very simple. So all you need to do is to take your pin and then hold it first. Place it well. Then take your pin and then hold it. Okay. Okay, now you are done holding it. See what I just want you to do. This is very simple. Look at it. It's very simple for me. Look at it. From here, just connect to the middle part of this 8 inches. Do you understand what I mean? From here, are you seeing from the underbust notch part? Connect to the middle part of the 8 inches. That's all I want you to do here, guys. So now you are done. Next thing you need to do is to use your scissors and then cut it off. Are you seeing it? I've gotten this shape. Very simple. So next thing I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be releasing it because I want to separate both of them. So when I release it, I will now gum on this side first. Remember the gummy side, take it. Also remember how you placed it in before. Still place it the same way. Okay, look at it. Here touching the underbust notch point. Here touching the tip. Okay, and here touching here. Do you understand? That's how it works. Please, I want you to know something. It must not be as perfect as I've just said, but all I want you to know is that at the end of the day, whatever you do on the left, make sure it's exactly the same thing you do on the right. Okay, as you can see what I have here is just to iron it, but I always advise my students to always iron from the front. It's not compulsory you iron from the front, but in a situation where you're making use of a wording that is very thick, so don't stress yourself trying to iron from the back, but it will not even iron. Do you understand? Or except your iron is very hot, and there's even a way your iron will be hot, the heat will pass this one and come and burn your material direct. Do you understand? So always be very careful, guys. So next thing I'm going to be doing now, look at it. I will now use my scissors and they trim out in order to get the shape of my bustier. So are you seeing it? Whatever you do on the left is exactly the same thing you do on the right. Now after you are done, just take your iron, gum it out so that to make sure that this thing is, are you seeing it? Look at it here. Okay, so now you do the same thing on this particular one. So the next thing I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be joining, like I've told us, I'm going to be joining with 1/2 inch, both on the front and at the back. Which after we are done joining, we are now going to trim to get the neck and the armhole. That, I believe that one is the most important part when it comes to joining. It's the most important part. So guys, before you start, remember I said it's 1/2 inch, but I really want to show us how this thing works so that you get a very perfect bustier. Please make sure you measure out 1/2 inch all through. Are you seeing it? Make sure you measure 1/2 inch all through like this. So this thing is like a guide. It will help guide you so that not when you sew 1/2 inch on this side, you will sew 1 inch on the other side. So that when you sew 1/2 inch on this side, you will also sew 1/2 inch on the other side. Are you seeing it? Okay. Now on the other side, I actually do the same thing. Now look at it. I want to show you something. Are you seeing it? Now coming to this very side, since I actually sew from here, you understand? Like I sew from the, there is this sewing method. You understand? Like look at it. I sew like this. Are you seeing it? Okay. Then talking about this one, I will sew this one from here. So in other words, my 1/2 inch is not going to be on this now. It's going to be on this very one. Do you understand? So that when I'm sewing on this, I will use this 1/2 inch to get this particular one. Okay, so that's what I want to explain. So let's go and sew it. Okay guys, as you can see, I am done coupling. Are you saying it? Okay, please, there is something I want to tell you. Whatever you do on your fabric is exactly the same thing you do on the lining. It's very important you know that. As you can see on my fabric, I've actually coupled this side. Now look at it. I've also done it on this one. Okay, so by me looking at the front part, as you can see the front part, I've actually coupled it. Okay, so looking at it now, you can see this is a paper, but I was able to even pad the paper and couple it at the same time. And you are looking at the neck now, you see that it has no neck and it has no armhole. So what we are going to do now, we're going to trim out to get the neck and the armhole. Okay, so in order to get that, we have to fold. So let's start folding from the back. All you have to do is your lining and your fabric, do it separate. Get the original fabric and fold it separately like this. Are you seeing it? Make sure that this side is facing the other side. Okay, please make sure you take your time and fold perfectly. This is the most important part of this work. Just make sure you fold perfectly well. Okay, take your time, please take your time. As you can see, this particular material or paper is dangling, it's not flat. Do you understand? Now I want to let you know that it's not an error. This is a flame, so it doesn't have to be flat in any way. Do you understand? And there is this that we already have on this dress. Okay, so please make sure you do this. Make sure you place it very well on both sides, everywhere. Then when you are done, you will now fold the front part. Okay, you now fold the front part. Okay, now I want to show you something. Now look at this. Even if I want to work on this place, I'll just do like this. Are you seeing it? If I want to work on this place, I do like this. So this is how this thing works. It's not like whenever you see it like this, you think that you cannot work on it. Okay, so let's fold the front part. Okay, this is the front part. So for you to fold it, all you need to do is from the middle part like this. Make sure you fold it. Just the same thing you did at the back. Okay, now please, as you are folding, I want you to know something. You do it like this. Now please know something. Look at it. This one is supposed to be corresponding with this one. So I think you have to feel it with your hand. Do you understand? Yes. Make sure you are feeling it like this. Are you saying it? Both of them should be corresponding. This one and this one here. Else your work is not going to come out very well. Okay. Now when you are done this side, all you need to do is to take your pin and hold it like this. Okay. Also do the same thing here. Take your pin and hold it. Please also do the same thing here. Fold here. Are you saying it? Make sure that this side, the dots are rhyming. Are you saying it? Okay. Okay. So that you get the original center. Okay, guys. So after you are done, next thing you are going to be doing now is take the back. Are you seeing it? Place the front on it. Look at it. When you place the front on it, that's the same thing we've been doing all this while. Still make sure that the position is very well. There's something I need to let you know is that the down part must be equal. It must be equal. Even if you might be seeing probably one is longer than the other, please, it must be equal at the down part. That one is compulsory. So assuming, let's say now, as you can see, the back is longer than the front. Yes, you should be seeing that at the upper part, not at the down part, please. Okay, so as you can see now, see another thing I need you to do now. When you reach this side, just do something like this. Are you seeing it? Fold it and do something like that. Are you seeing it? So that the cup will really show. Are you seeing it? Do something like this. Okay, then when you place it like this, you use your pin and hold it. We are still in the process of pinning it down. Please, I want you to know that this is actually paper. It's not easy to work with paper, but we'll try our best to make sure that it comes out very well. Try our best to do that. So take your pin and hold it. Okay. So as you can see now look at it. Are you seeing it? I'm done. As you can see now, you see that the back is longer than the front. Please, this is normal because look at the front. It has a bust, so it has already shortened the length. Thereby, the bust is going to enter inside this part. Are you seeing it? That's why the back is longer. So I want you guys to watch and see how I draft my neck and the armhole. It's very important you focus. Okay. Please, I want you guys to know something. If you don't take your time and arrange it like this, the truth is that it's not going to come out very well. Your work is not going to come out at all. So now let's cut. So now first of all, let me mark out my shoulder and armhole. Look at it. The shoulder in this case is 14. Okay, 14 is actually 7 plus half is what? 7 and a half. Okay, look at it, 7 and a half. Just draw a very straight line. Are you seeing it? Please, I want you to know, working on this kind of style and even this kind of fabric is not easy at all. So you need to be very careful. Okay, so now let me put down my shoulder slope. Shoulder slope, yes, the slant. Slant is actually 1 inch always. Then the standard neck width is usually 3 inches. So from here, you connect to the 1 inch. Are you seeing it? Okay. So then the armhole length is usually whatever I have on my shoulder. Shoulder is 7 plus half, 7 and a half. I put the same thing down here, 7, 7 and a half. Are you seeing it? So next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to be carving out my armhole. Are you seeing it? I'm carving out my armhole. Now, for those that don't know how I carved out this armhole, this is the midpoint of this particular armhole. Are you seeing it? 7 and a half divided by 2. This is the midpoint. So I connected it from here to here. Please, I want to show you something. When you place your tape here, are you seeing it? You mark out 1 inch. Are you seeing it? So at this particular point, that is where this curve connects in order to form the armhole curve. Okay, so that is it. So next thing I'm going to be doing now is let me construct the neck. So in order to construct the neck, guys, it depends on the kind of neck you are working on. If you're working on canoe, if you're working on any kind of neck, but for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to be working on a sweetheart neck. Okay, so for me to work on a sweetheart neck, I'll choose the neck width which I want. Now for the sake of this tutorial, the neck width I want is 5 inches. So that when you expand it, you're going to be getting 10 inches. That is actually what I want. If you want lesser, you can actually do the same thing. So the depth, I want it to be sexy. So I'm going to be using 8 inches. Okay. If you want people to see more of your cleavage, you can be going down. If you want to protect your cleavage, you can be coming up. Do you understand? Okay, so that is it. So since we have this one and this one, are you seeing it? Now let me show you guys something. Since it's 8 inches, now let me do something. It's sweetheart neck that I'm doing. Now from this 8 inches, step up, that is at the 7 inches. Are you seeing it? Step up. Okay. Now use it and construct the neck block. Are you seeing it? I'm using it to construct the neck block. Now, from here, look at it. Get the neck shape. Are you seeing it? Okay. Now look at it. So how did I get this neck shape? Look at it. It's the same method. Diagonally like this. Measure out. Just depends on what you want. You can measure out from 1 inch to 2 inches. Do you understand? But for the sake of this tutorial, I'm using 1.5. As you can see, what we have here is actually 1.5. Are you seeing it? Okay. So immediately you've reached here. Look at it. It's very simple to get a sweetheart neck. Immediately you've reached here, just like this. Step down to your 8 inches. Are you seeing it? It's very, very simple. When you get your neck depth, original, where you want everything to end, step up. Then use that one and get your neck block. Then construct your neck and now directly step down here. You seeing it? You've actually gotten the sweetheart neck. Okay. So what else? Next thing now is for us to shape out. Hope that's just the next thing. Remember the back neck. The back neck, we've not drafted it yet. It depends whatever you want to use. So let's continue with our cutting. Okay, guys. So what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be cutting it out. Okay, let me start from the shoulder. Okay, now let me also continue from the sweetheart neck. Because I want you to know something. Whatever I'm stopping this now, are you seeing it? That is where the back neck will start. The front neck and the back neck, that is the width, is exactly the same thing. Now, talking about the back neck, that's where it's going to end. It depends on your choice. If you like, you can get a normal round neck. If you like, you can get a normal, from here, V neck. Do you understand? It's just your choice. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'm actually using a V neck. Okay, guys. So now let's continue. Also put your scissors and cut out for the armhole. Remember, on this armhole, we've not actually done our armhole effect. Yes, because I like doing my armhole effect whenever I'm making this kind of dress, especially when I want to fix my sleeve. Because there's something about this sewing of clothes generally, not only this kind of clothes. When you want to fix sleeve, sometimes you need to cross check and recheck to know whether your armhole is in order. If your armhole is not in order, put it in order before you put your sleeve, please. So next thing I'm going to be doing, see, this part is very important. Sometimes you will always notice that these things are not usually equal. Are you seeing it? The placement. That's why we add allowance, enough allowance for that matter. So all you need to do is to make everything equal, but please don't like reduce your allowance to the point that when you start coupling now you no longer see any allowance. Do you guys understand? Please don't do that. As you can see now, with just little thing I've removed, everywhere is equal, exactly equal. Okay, so the next thing remaining on this cloth, if you as you can see, look at this part, it's looking very pointed. You have to unsharpen it. It's very very sharp. You have to, so for you to unsharpen it is more like, see what you are going to be doing. Are you saying it? You guys should know about unsharpening stuff. So, okay, so all you need to do is take your scissors and then unsharpen. So guys, next thing you are going to do now is to you are going to remove the pins. Okay, so make sure you remove it, remove the pins and separate. As you can see, this is the back. Now look at, this is the front. Now you see a very fine dress. This is the dress, very fine and day. Okay, let me remove the pin here. And sexy. Now look at it, very fine and sexy. Are you seeing it? Very very fine and day, sexy. Now look at it. Very fine and sexy. Please, this is actually paper, so here might not be able to position very well. Are you seeing it? Look at how the dress comes out. Very very fine. So all you have to do now, remember you've actually cut your material and lining the same thing. Remember what I said. You know, as you placed it, you should be like, when you folded it before you trimmed this thing, it's more like take the material, fold the same thing as the lining, this one, take it and place under this one, do the same thing at the back, fold this one, take the line and place under this one, place all of them together. That is when you trim this thing, thereby making sure that everything is trimmed at the same time. Do you understand? So that at the end of the day now, what you're going to do is that on your lining, you know what we normally do at the down part, you reduce the down part so that when you sew, the lining will not be coming outside. You must reduce the down part of your lining with 1 inch or 2 inches, depending on whichever allowance you gave to your material. Do you understand? Me, I usually like to use 1 inch maximum. Say, like especially on this kind of dress. I don't use much on this kind of dress because it really has a curve. Okay. Okay, guys, let me show us the simplest way of how to couple it. I have been coupling dresses here before. So if you really want to couple it, let's say your underbust is 30 inches. 30 divided by 4 is 7.5. As you can see, our 7.5 is here. There, can you see our allowance? Please do the same thing at your half length. You know we also have half length here. Do the same thing, 7.5. Are you seeing it? Okay. So next thing you need to do, remember here, take it straight. Remember how this thing works. Then from here, if you can actually take it straight, whatever you have here, do you understand? Still take it the same way. Are you seeing it? Downwards. Do you understand? But for those that want to have like extra play, if you want to have like extra play, all you need to do is sew like this. Are you seeing it? Okay. But me, I prefer sewing this way. Do you understand? I prefer sewing this way because my play is still my play, no matter anything. So after you are done marking it out, all you need to do, as usual, what I normally do is to use your pin and trace on the other side. This is to enable you have a smooth sewing process. So as you can see, after you are done, you also get the same shape here. So next thing you need to do is to release the pins again. So now after you are done releasing the pins, the next thing you need to do is to go and sew. Now for you to sew, as you can see, these are the sides. No, this is the back part. Look at it. This is the back part. So for you to actually sew, all you need to do is to look at it. Take the left side. Okay, let me show us. Okay, now look at it. Take this side. Are you seeing it? Take this side. Remember, you have actually, after this is after you have coupled your lining on this. Remember, it's after you've coupled your line. I'm not using lining at this very moment because this is just an illustration. So take this like this. Are you seeing it? Then go and sew this side. Then do the same thing on this very side. Take this one. Are you seeing it? And go and there. So, which after you are done, next thing we are going to be doing, we are going to be folding into two. As you fold into two, you now divide into two and place your measurement. But first of all, let me sew this particular point. So as you can see, I've actually joined the sides. Now look at it here. So the method you're going to use and lock it, which will never do, like it will make the work relax very well and everything will come out perfectly, is by folding it into two. Just fold it into two. Please always handle with care. I know it will not be easy folding and the unfolding, but make sure you handle with care. Okay, so now after you are done, make sure you also iron this place. Please, it's very important to iron. Ironing is very, very necessary. So if you don't have any iron, make sure you go and buy one. Okay, so the underbust is 30 inches. Please, I want you to know that since we've now joined this side and we've now folded it into only two, we are no longer dividing by 4. So 30 divided by 2 is going to be giving us 15. So make sure you measure out 15 inches. Are you seeing it? Okay, it is still within our allowance. Okay, do the same thing at the half length. Please always know that you have to, whatever you put at your underbust is the same thing you put at the half length. Just know that. Okay, also know that at the end of the day, the same thing, whatever you have at the allowance, you also take it down straight. And if you also want to, remember what I said, whatever you have as your allowance, you also take it down straight. And if you also want to have, extra flame, you know what to do. You gradually sew and use half to end it. Do you understand? So we are going to sew here, which after you are done sewing here, you will now join your shoulder. Most people don't really know that the best way of sewing, the best method, is the shoulder is almost the last thing, then before the sleeve. Do you understand? Because assuming we locked the shoulder already, you cannot place this thing here perfectly well. It's not going to relax. Do you understand? So that is it. Okay, guys, as you can see, we are 100% done with the dress. Please, I want you to know that if you actually use your material to make this, it's going to be very finer than this paper. As you can see, it's not easy actually to work with paper. Now look at it. It looks very, very nice, very, very fine. So that is it, guys. So next thing you need to do while fixing your sleeve is to check whether your armhole measure and to know whether it will give you. But before you do that, always make sure you put your armhole effect. You guys know how we do our armhole effect. Always know. Okay, look at it. You do exactly the same thing on the left. And make sure the round armhole is giving you exactly the person's round armhole. You almost always measure the person's round armhole. So guys, thanks for watching. Chineke goes.